Well, welcome to Christy Iwuchukwu's Brilliance TV show that we do every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I appreciate you. Without you, this show cannot go on. So what do we do at Christy Iwuchukwu's Brilliance TV show? This is where we spotlight the defining moments and accomplishments of today's top business leaders, entrepreneurs, unique and most successful individuals, and that's where you come in. Why? Because this show cannot exist without you. It is about your story, about your defining moments, about you sharing and impacting life with what you have been through. You've already been through it. So it's time for you to now do what? Share it with other people so that other people's life can be impacted. So who am I? My name is Christy Iwuchukwu, aka Lady Christy, CEO and founder of Chosen Path Global, helping women unleash their confidence and rock their brilliance. It's about speak up, speak out, and gain confidence. That's right. And we are here every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And guess what? I want you to be a part of this community. Invite someone else. Come on and share in the fort. Every Monday, I bring experts from different niches on different topics to share with you strategies and tips on how you can enhance and up-level in your business. And before I get started on today, I just want to remind you again, we did another show, I believe it was yesterday. Listen, there's something happening next month. On the 30th of next month, that'll be June 30th, I will launch in Women's Coaching Association. Again, it's Women's Coaching Association. So what is this show all about? What is this association really all about? You know, when I was starting out, one of the challenges that I was faced with was connecting with other coaches, putting myself out there, networking, and expanding my database. And if I was having that problem, I realized there were so many other women that are having the same problem. So I am on a journey to solve that problem. And so I would love for you to go to womenscoachingassociation.com, womenscoachingassociation.com, and you can register there. And once I get your information, I'll be calling you up and we're going to have chat. So until next time, I hope you go and join me and invite others to join me, and let's make it a brilliant, brilliant association for women. So on today's topic, we have a special guest today, Zondra Evans, coming to us all the way from Texas. That's right. Well, right now she's visiting her daughter in Dallas. But anyway, so who's Zondra Evans? Zondra, wow, among other things that she does, she's really a TV personality. She helps women, empowers women to be all that they can do. And she is also the CEO and founder of Talk with Zondra. And you're going to get to hear more of that. She's a coach on personal development, and she's here to share with us the power of investing in yourself. That's right, the power of investing in yourself. And I cannot wait to hear what she has to say. If you are listening to me right now, and I want you to go ahead and invite somebody else to share in. Bring your iPad, your pen, your paper, and get ready, because she's about to drop some nuggets. The next voice that you're going to hear will be Zondra Evans. Zondra, are you there?
I am here. Thank you so much, Christy, and I'm excited to be on your Brilliance TV show. You're brilliant yourself, and it's extremely, an honor for me to be here. So I want to kind of start out a little bit about who I am.
Yes.
And how did I get here, because I think that that's important for people to know. Yes, my name is Zondra Evans, and I'm better known as Coach Zondra. I started this journey about 25 years ago. And it's interesting that when you start your journey, you don't really realize, you have to kind of look in the rearview mirror after a while to understand. I was in preparation for this 25 years ago, but I am a life, leadership, and transition coach today. I'm certified at that. And so what does that really mean? It means that if you are breathing, you're living life. And it takes leadership in order to manage your life. But more than that, every single moment is a new transition. In fact, this interaction this evening is a new transition in your life. And I'm really hoping that what I'll say, if you only take away one nugget, that it'll truly make a change in your life. But getting back to a little bit of the history and how I got here, 25 years ago, I worked for a high-powered company, and I didn't really understand. People would come to me, I want you to mentor me, because there was no such thing as a coach 25 to 30 years ago. And so I started mentoring people and making sure that I took time out of my schedule, to spend with them. And they would want to know about how to be a better leader or how to navigate their life. But I didn't know that I was on a journey to be a life coach. Not until my mother passed away. When I was a caregiver for my mother for over 15 years. And when she passed away, that's when I really realized my journey. It started to come into full view for me. And then I could say, you know what, I've been in preparation for this journey a really long time. So I started this journey by being a motivational speaker and an inspirational speaker. And I don't even know if I knew that's what it was then. But what I was really passionate about doing is getting on the stage and telling people about my story. How did I manage a high-powered job and at the same time care for my mother, who was stricken with Alzheimer's? And make sure that my children were being cared for. So I had a lot of different things that I was juggling in my life, but I was in preparation for being a certified life coach today and a motivational speaker, a keynote, a MC. I'm many things. I say I'm a jack of all trade and the master of many, because I don't believe in saying the master of none. We are the master of whatever we put our minds to do.
Awesome. So Zondra, you and I met back in March?
Yes.
At the conference. That's where we first met, and we've been connecting ever since. That's why I love this conversation that we are having today. Yeah. So you normally coach women.
I do.
Yes. And so why women? And why are you so passionate about working with women?
Yeah, I work with both now, but the primary folks that I work with is women, and I'm going to tell you why. I think that we have a very, very complicated journey that we're navigating here on this earth. We're expected to be, that's why I said the master of many. We're expected to be the master of many, and oftentimes what we do is we sacrifice our own self-worth and our value in order to do for everybody else. We have to be a mother and a sister and a daughter, and take care of your elderly parents. And at the same time, times have changed, so we have to go to a job every day and then come home and make dinner. And then when is there time for you? And so my focus is really on women, helping women to get balance in their life. But more than that, I think the thing that we don't really understand is who we are and why we're here. And when you can answer those two questions, then your journey becomes a lot easier for you to navigate.
And you brought up a good point. As women, oftentimes the job or the position of taking care of your elderly parents, for the most part, falls on women. And I know for me, though my parents are no longer here with us, but when they were old and they needed help, I found myself sometimes traveling back to Africa twice a year. And that wasn't just financially draining, it was emotionally draining as well. But that's something that I had to do. And was that easy? No way, it wasn't easy. But I can look back now and say, I did all that I could for them at that particular time of their life. But I have to tell you, sometimes if you don't devise a way of taking care of yourself while you are doing that, it can actually impact you in so many ways. So what do you, as you coach women, what do you think are their number one problem in terms of being able to invest in themselves?
You know what? It's so many things, Christy. But, the number one thing is actually feeling as though they can take the time out for just themselves. One of the things that I ask women to do, like almost every woman that I coach, and I have a pretty big coaching practice, I ask them sooner or later, I want them to spend quality time with themselves. And when I ask them to do that, they're like, what? 15 whole minutes by myself? And I'm like, yes, most women can't even dial it down for 15 good solid minutes. No phone, no music, no internet, no interruptions, no dogs, no cats, no kids, no anything. And just sit in total peace and serenity and ask themselves, who am I and why am I here? And really get connected with the inner woman. We spend a ton of money on the outer woman, but the inner woman is sometimes so broken in so many ways.
Wow. I love this conversation we are having. It really is a conversation that matters, because you talk about women really taking the time for themselves.
Yeah.
And I find for myself, I have to be transparent about this, that even when I'm not doing, it's very difficult for me to stay still, just absolutely doing nothing. Yeah. It is very difficult. But I find one thing, that even if it's for 10 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 15 minutes, right? That I really go inward to search for an answer. And what comes out after that, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, it can be profound and amazing. But I have to tell you, I struggle with it, because oftentimes I'm either on my computer, on my cell phone, or I'm talking to someone. And what I realized is that, at least that was for me, right? Until I made it a point of duty to really spend some time just by myself, right? Because it can be scary to really go inward. It can be scary to really go inward. And sometimes people occupy themselves with so much stuff, because not doing anything allows you to spend time.
Yes. Absolutely. Let me just tell you what I talk in a lot of analogies and metaphors. It's just, that's who I am. That's how I relate to people. But you know what I ask a lot of my clients, do you have the courage to turn yourself inside out? And so when I say that, there's beautiful things that are inside of each one of us. But there's some cankerworms, there's some sores, there's some things inside of us that we actually don't want to look at. And so again, if you could just spend 15 minutes of quiet time with yourself and be willing to hear the answer, because some things are not right in our lives, but we just go ahead and put makeup on and fingernail polish and keep it moving and act like everything is okay, but the inside is so broken and so afraid of the things that kind of resonate with inside of you.
Wow. You put it so eloquently, because you're absolutely right. It is that sometimes we have things in our lives that we don't want to confront, and it's a lot easier just shuffle it under the bed and not confront it than confronting it. And confronting it meaning you can't confront it with somebody with you. You have to confront it when you are alone. And that aloneness, being alone is what a lot of people don't want to do. Being alone is what a lot of people don't want to do. But oftentimes that's where you get the answer that you are looking for. So why do you think that people are afraid to be alone?
I don't know that it's so much about them being afraid of being alone. I think they're afraid to hear what they are going to hear when they're alone. You know, I had a client that asked me, I said, you know, there's a couple of times a day that you could have some alone time. It's about 5 to 7 minutes. And I'm telling you, this is the most earth-shattering kind of experience if you really take heed to it. And that is when you brush your teeth. Most of us stand in front of the mirror, brush our teeth. That is when your mouth is closed, your ears are open, and your eyes are piercing back at you, which is piercing back into the window of your soul. And if you have the courage to ask who you are and why you are here, the first couple of times you might hear some reminders like, don't forget to get spaghetti for dinner tonight. But if you do that twice a day for a couple of weeks, sooner or later, you're going to hear who you are, why you're here, and some of the things that you actually need to change in order to be the best you. That's what people are afraid of, the answer that they're going to hear, because you will hear something if you get by yourself and have nothing else as a distraction, you will hear something. And oftentimes that's what the fear is. I don't want to hear what's going to happen because something's going to speak. I had a client that said, how do you know it's not me speaking versus maybe the Most High? And I said, don't you know your voice? You know your own voice. It won't be your voice that speaks to you. It'll be another voice for you to reckon with.
And you know, I remember one of the exercise that I was involved in doing, and that was the mirror exercise. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with the mirror exercise. And that's where you stand on the mirror, you stand in front of the mirror, and you are affirming who you are.
Yes.
Right? And I tell you, the very first time that I did that exercise, oh my God, it was so hilarious. And I'm looking at myself, I'm looking in the mirror, just saying, I am this, I am brilliant, I am powerful, I am, you know, whatever I have to say. But I was just laughing, just cracking up. So I imagine that it also happens to other people. Why do we find it so difficult to affirm who we are?
You know what, Christy, I don't know if you're going to like this answer that I'm going to give you.
Go ahead.
But I'm going to be, you know, this is who I am. I'm a life coach, and I'm real about what I speak into people. But, you know, I think the reason why is because we don't believe it ourselves. And see, when you don't believe it yourself, it'll tickle you. You know, you have to, it's an art to get to a place where you are confident and truly confident, not pretending, and that you really know who you are. So when you first try that exercise, it is kind of like, really? You know, you almost want to say, really? You know, you're laughing because it's like, who really walks around affirming themselves? Who really, you know, walks around? Because people say, oh, you know, you're vain. But listen, it's time for women to be able to stand strong in their truth and to be able to speak their truth about who they are. It's time for us to do that. It is uncomfortable, probably at first, but if you continue to affirm who you are and continue to really know who you are, and walk in that and not try to fit in. I think we try to fit in so much that we really don't know who we are.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on this, because that was the time before I did my first ever video. And now that's a story on its own. But at this particular time, I knew I had so much to deposit, right? But in my mind, I was struggling with who's going to hear me? Who's going to hear me? Who wants to hear me? Is it going to be okay? English as a second language used to be my crutch.
Yeah.
Right? It used to be, but it has absolutely, now that I am who I am, helping women overcome and build confidence, I realized that was just a crutch, because there's so many people with English as a second language, right? We know about Mandela, right? And so many of them has nothing to do with it. It was just who I was at that particular time. And I go back to my first video that I did. I mean, the day that I put it on, uploaded that video, I didn't sleep. I couldn't sleep because I was so worried about what people will be saying. Oh my God, they're going to make a bad comment. They're going to judge me. They're going to say, you didn't say it right. Your hair is not fixed. Your eyes is not fixed. Maybe I wasn't. Just all these negative things was going through my mind. But never for one time did I say to myself, what if somebody really liked this video? What if it really helped somebody else? What if you became a vehicle for somebody else who is at where you were, and this video will be the same that will get them out? And you know what? That's exactly what happened, because I got an inbox from somebody who looked at that imperfect video and said, oh my God, this is what I was struggling with too. I mean, I was like, if you see that video, I couldn't even look up. My head was down, my eyes were down. I felt like somebody's gonna hit me on the head. And I mean, I can laugh about it, but that imperfect video, I have to say, that's the reason I'm talking to you now. If I hadn't done that to save my life, I don't think I'll have the confidence to talk to you, have the confidence to speak out, have the confidence to speak at networking events. And sometimes we forget that just no one wants perfection.
That's right.
While we all shoot for perfection, the only way to start something is to get started on something, period. And
Absolutely.
if you're done, you will definitely be stuck. And so I tell people now, don't worry about how perfect. It's not going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody started doing something with perfection. You perfect as you go. You get better as you go. But if you're waiting for you to get perfect at it, you're just going to be waiting for a very long time.
Well, you know what? And so that's really good, Christy, that you talk about waiting and trying to be perfect. Les Brown is, if there's anybody that is my mentor, like I just look up to Les Brown, and I really read all his books, over the course of time. But you know what? The thing that stuck with me that Les Brown said one day was, practice makes improvement, because you will absolutely never be perfect. And I think I took that from that moment on, and I was like, you know what? You have to just put it out there, and you have to have the courage to do that. But the biggest thing that stops people, there's two things. So number one is fear, false evidence appearing real. People are fearful, and so fear stops you. But here's how fear shows up. It's in procrastination. Yes. That it's a gremlin that lives inside of us. And those gremlins tell us, you're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. You don't speak English well enough. You ain't, your hair ain't long enough. You're not light skinned enough. I could be on here all night going through that. Absolutely. That's what happens. And then we let fear take over. And when fear takes over, we find ourselves creating a storyline and then coming up with things to validate that storyline. Oh, did you see how they looked at me when I walked in the room? That's why I don't like to go to networking events. Did you see how they spoke to me? It's always something. And really, it's only what your mind is creating.
And I love the fact that you said we create a storyline, and we really do. And we'll always find an evidence to support whatever storyline that we are creating. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always find something, find an evidence to support our storyline. And so that was a lesson for me. Like, and I still remember those times that I couldn't talk to you like I'm talking to you right now, right? But I will be dying inside. Oh, I want to do that. I really want to talk to her. I want to say this. I want to help somebody else. I want to speak at networking event. But, oh my God, what if I speak up? Oh my God. And everybody else will be looking at me. And now, girl, I don't even care.
Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be, Christy. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
You just have to get out there and just do it. Just get out there and do it. But you know what? It's hard. And let me tell you another thing, though, Christy. I mean, I love the way that this interview is going because it's very fluid. But, you know, another thing is that we really, as women, don't want to really say that we need help. Because if I tell you I'm uncomfortable with presenting, as an example, what are you going to think about me? Or if I tell you that I'm afraid to do X, then what are you going to think about me? Nobody wants to be known as a scaredy cat. So I think that we get so caught up in creating a storyline around however imperfect our life is, we create a storyline to support that imperfectness. And why you're critical in this imperfectness. And so what I really help women to do is to release themselves from this whole thing of all these gremlins and things inside of you and actually just start to access your true potential because it's inside of you. It's being smothered by fear and trepidation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, you know, another thing that I wanted to talk about is this: getting the help of other supportive people around you.
Yeah.
Getting the help of other supportive people around you. Whether it's you hiring a coach that can bring out the best in you, that can see what you can see about yourself, and sometimes even when you believe it, you don't know how to bring it out. Or sometimes you don't even believe it. You don't believe you have those potentials. Or joining communities with like-minded individuals to support you. How do you see that in being able to help one out get to where they want to be?
You know what, Christy, this is really good that you're asking me this because I think it has to do with our mindset. And I'm going to speak about women of color first because I am a woman of color. And so I'll speak that because I know that very well. And then I can just talking about being a woman in corporate America for 40 years and how I navigated that. But here's the thing. I think that we have a mindset that we really don't need someone in our business, or I don't need nobody to tell me how to live my life. And so what I try to help women to see is kind of reframe your thinking on getting support and help. And that through support and collaboration, that's where power resides. Like you'll start to feel your power because you need somebody that's on your side, helping you to embrace your life and to figure out how to navigate through that. It's okay. Now, I'm a coach. I'm a certified coach, been to school, and got my certification. But guess what? Even though I'm a coach, I have a life coach and I have a media coach. Why? Because I need the help of those two folks to help me bring my vision into full view.
And you brought up a good point because oftentimes people think that just because you're a coach, that's the end of the line for you. But I believe that even coaches, they continue to learn, to better themselves.
Absolutely.
To better themselves, they continue to learn. They belong to other organizations. They belong to communities and tribes to help them, support them. And because sometimes it can really, really get like your mind is just sunk.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes it's hard to keep going. And in those times, those are the times that you call up people that are supportive, people in your front row. And that's why I really believe that it's important to look at the individuals that you talk to on a daily basis because they can make or break you.
Well, I think that that's true too. But I think that's part of it, right? Is that we are looking for people to validate us. And there's nothing wrong with people to validate us, but you really should want someone that will help you through those tough moments. Now, I'm going to bring up my daughter-in-law, and I love her to pieces. She is the hard one on me. Like, she won't just validate and say, oh, yeah, that's great, Coach Zondra. She will really press me and stretch me to think bigger and larger and differently. So we also need that around us. But oftentimes as women, we can't really take that. We go like, okay, now she's talking about me. No, we're not talking. We're trying to help you to be better. It's just the mindset that we have. My thing is helping women to reframe your mindset and to open the door to the power of positive possibility.
Yeah, that's right. Because actually, you just hit on something, which is being open to receive feedback. Because oftentimes the coach is there to help you, but if you're not willing to receive, if you are not willing to open those channels, if you have a fixed mindset, it has always been this way. I know better, or I'm not open to get feedback. I don't care whether you hire the best coach, it's not going to help you either.
That's right.
So having that mindset, your growth mindset, where you look at, okay, sometimes you just forget everything you know, so that you really can open your mind to receive and hear new information that can up-level you to a new place in your life. So absolutely. So everyone, we're still talking to Coach Zondra Evans. So we're talking about the power of investing in yourself, the power of investing in yourself. And we do this show every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Listen, Zondra, we're going to find out what are the three things, what are the benefits, three benefits of one investing in themselves. What can you share with us, Zondra?
Oh, I think that there's lots. So hold me to three, Christy. That's probably the best thing to do. But my next book is called The Power of Investing in You. And the reason why I wrote the book is because I wanted folks to be able to understand that you and Christy and whoever is listening in tonight, you're the most valuable resource. You're the true asset. You're the true commodity. And so if you don't take care of you, who will? So you have to be willing to invest time for yourself. And I don't mean taking out the time to do pedicures and manicures. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about investing in your inner being, investing in your inner thoughts, and figuring out how to really maneuver life. The other thing is that I feel as though when you start investing in you, you'll see that you'll start to dream again. Most people don't even dream anymore. And the reason why they don't dream is because if I dare, just don't dream about what it could be or what I could be, I don't have to be disappointed. People don't want to feel self-disappointment. And so people don't even dream again because there's so many stresses in the world. And so learning how to dream again is important. Knowing that you're the most valuable asset and resource. But last but not least, don't you want to learn to serve the world, the authentic you? And if you invest in you, if you take time for yourself beyond the beauty care of the outer woman, I believe that you're going to find that serving the world, the genuine you, that the whole universe is waiting for that to happen. Stop being someone else and just learn to be who you are.
So 3 benefits why we need to invest in ourselves. Say it one more time, Zondra, please.
So 3 benefits. You're the most valuable asset and resource. You are. And the second thing is that by investing in yourself, it will help you to start dreaming again, to believe that you really can do it. And then the third one is serve the world, the genuine you. That's why you should invest in yourself. Those 3 things will make a difference. And it'll help you to be able to, live a celebrated life. I know you want a celebrated life because I sure do. But that's how we kind of get to it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Zondra. I appreciate what you're offering to our audience today. So how can our audience contact you if they want to work with you?
Well, there's several ways. So the first one is you can just send me a nice old email. It's easy. It's Zondra@CoachZondra.com. That's one way to get a hold of me. The other one is to go to my website. It's very easy as well. It's www.CoachZondra.com. And there's an 800 number there, or there's a contact button, and you can contact me, and I will provide you a 30-minute complimentary session for attending this webinar tonight. I think it would be just awesome. So get your complimentary coaching session just to know the difference, because if you never try out a coach, how do you know that you need one? I'm telling you, everybody needs a coach. I got one and you need one too. So it'd be fun just to talk with you.
Absolutely. I can never say enough of the power of having a coach, the power of having somebody that really need to look at where you are and see how they can help you. But again, you have to really have a growth mindset and not have this fixed mindset, I know it all, and so nobody can help me. When you do that, you'll be able to up-level yourself. So everyone, we are still talking to Zondra Evans, Coach Zondra Evans. And before we go, I just want to remind you that every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have Christy Iwuchukwu's Brilliance TV show. This is where we bring top business leaders, entrepreneurs, and most unique individuals to offer you tips and strategies on how to up-level your life and business. And I'm also announcing the launching of Women's Coaching Association. That's right, Women's Coaching Association that allows you, this is a platform that allows you to network, connect, collaborate, and partner with other coaches. And it's going to be amazing. I hope you join us. I want you to go to Women's Coaching Association.com, Women Coaching Association.com. It's women's with an S, Women's Coaching Association.com, and you can get the information to join us. Until next time, everybody, I want to say thank you for joining us, and thank you very much for really helping us really understanding the power of investing in you. Zondra, do you have any final thoughts?
My final thought would just be, listen, life is going to always serve you a set of circumstances. But I want you to remember this one thing. While life serves circumstances, it doesn't define your character. It only creates depth in who you are. So until we meet again, as I always say, be the best you. Peace.
All right, everybody. This is Christy Iwuchukwu reminding you that your fingerprint is by design, not by choice, and the world is waiting for you to rock your brilliance. Thanks a lot, Zondra. Hopefully I can bring you back. I appreciate you. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
All right. It was great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.